For the heck of it, I figured I'd go over kind of the survival kit that I've been using lately. There's a couple of kits here. One that I actually use that's all nice and put together, and then this is another one that I actually just use as a beater kit. And then I have the Altoids tin here just to kind of show a comparison. I really don't, I'm not a big fan of the Altoids survival kit tins or whatever, just because you really are limited to what you can put in them. I actually prefer this kit here because it's actually, you know, a little bit more durable and kind of designed if you really are, you know, umpteen miles out in the woods. This kit here, it's actually, I modeled this survival kit off of a website called m4040.com several years ago. This guy had a, you know, pretty good idea as far as just, you know, keeping it small and lightweight so that you're willing to carry it. So this particular kit's made from an Army ammo pouch, weighs under 2 pounds, has some Alice clips on the back so you can clip it to a belt if you want, and then I just added like a carabiner, just a piece of paracord or whatever, so I can hook it to my belt and unhook it whenever I want, so it's a little more convenient. And it flexes, so it works with you when when you move, so it's not terribly uncomfortable at all. But anyway, I'll go over this kit here. And what I have in here is some paracord, about 25 feet or so. I actually have a survival bandana. It's orange with a whole bunch of survival tips and whatnot on there, just wrapped in a plastic bag for waterproofing, and also the plastic bag could be used as a container for, you know, water canteen concept. Here's an example of the bandana once it's all folded out, with just some basic information about survival. Bright orange, so it's good for signaling, and of course the bandana, you can use it, you know, 100 different uses. The inside of the kit, also wrapped in a food bag or whatnot, just to use same thing to kind of waterproof the kit. Can also be used as a water container. And then some more stuff, sandwich bag full of other little goodies here. And I actually decided to kind of write down, I don't know, just my own pieces of information, some survival tips and whatnot, as well as just front and back as far as my contents list of, you know, the things to expect inside the kit. So generally when you're in a survival situation, you know, when you realize you're no longer in control of your situation, your whole attitude's going to change. So you know, so a lot of times if folks panic, or, you know, you just got that sheer shock in you, that can help keep you from thinking clearly. So, you know, some basic instructions to kind of help keep your thoughts together and figure out, you know, what plan of action that you can do to help save yourself. So but not too much here, just mostly some survival psychology stuff. A lot of information I actually got off of the Army survival guide, and some other tidbits that I've learned here and there on the web, and some books and whatnot. I actually have some coffee filters. This is something I just kind of threw in last minute. Another good idea for, you know, water purification, filtering. Some 3x5 cards, so you can, you know, if you needed to, you could actually like draw a map of, you know, water sources and where you think you are, and maybe, you know, roads, animal trails, all kinds of information, you know, wild edibles that you might be able to find, or you can just write down your thoughts, I mean, whatever you got to do to survive. Also, I just recently saw somebody actually sharpen his knife using a wet dry sandpaper, so I just threw this in there and just figured that's probably a good idea. So, you know, with your knife, as you use it, you got at least some way to keep it sharp if necessary. And then actually have some money thrown in there, so, you know, 20, 10, 5, you know, some various denominations. So if you do save yourself and you find a road or something, or, you know, get to a convenience store, bus money, taxi, you know, whatever, but at least have money to at least help get you all the way home somehow. Also have this is a suture kit. So, and of course this one is not intended to be used, but I did open it just to kind of see what it looks like and all that good stuff. So here's kind of like a curved needle with a nylon thread on the end, so if you needed to, you could actually, you know, stitch, you know, the deep wound that you might have if necessary. So it's probably better than using fishing hooks or a sewing needle, or, you know, a piece of paracord or something if you had to. So I may actually throw in some like butterfly bandages and whatnot. There's some other bandages that might, you know, depending on how deep your wound is, might be a better option than having to grin and bear the pain of having to stitch yourself. Garbage bag for shelter, poncho, rain catch, all that good stuff. Regular survival blanket or you know, emergency blankets. This Mylar stuff, like a 7-foot by 9-foot piece. Same thing, could be used for shelter, for staying warm, signaling, rain catch, all that good stuff. This is a muffin pan, so a mini muffin pan. The main, you know, not only does it protect everything that's inside of it, but it's also great for boiling water. So, and I actually have like another kit here, it's a little mini loaf pan, red loaf pan that you can pick up at Walmart, Kmart, dollar stores, things like that. But works pretty well, and it fits pretty nicely into this army pouch here. So I've actually tried using like aluminum foil. You see folks that'll put like a square of aluminum foil, thinking that that would be adequate for using to boil water to purify it. I have tried it, and it does work, kind of. It's not, you know, I've had like a 50-50 success rate with it. So if you get any kind of holes on the aluminum foil, even the heavy-duty aluminum foil, it's kind of hard to boil water in it. But anyway, this is a little bit more durable, you know, especially long term. You know, every time you move the aluminum foil, you potentially get bends and whatnot in there, so it'll just leak water. But all the other stuff that I got in here, I have some water purification tablets. I also have some couple of 1-quart freezer bags that are adequate. So I think each tablet here is good for about 1 liter, and 1 liter is, you know, similar, you know, almost close to about 1 quart or so. It takes about 4 hours or so for it to purify, but it's at least another option to stay hydrated. Also have a camping mirror in this case, kind of to be able to use for signaling. It was cheaper than for me to get the real signaling, and also what you could do is in order you could be in the sunlight and just use your fingers or whatnot, just to be able to figure out where the reflection is, and then put like the airplane or whatever between your fingers to make sure that they can see your reflection. So the other nice thing about the mirror in general is you can also use it for self-inspection. So if you did injure yourself on your back or whatever, you know, someplace on your body where you can't normally look, you can actually use this for self-inspection. All the multi-use concepts here. So here's some Imodium AD for anti-diarrhea. So the last thing you want to do is get sick out in the woods, especially since this will dehydrate you quickly. Tylenol, so any injuries, headaches, so on, at least got something to kind of help keep your sanity. Alcohol prep, just for sanitation. This is Neosporin, just like a 3-in-1 antibacterial ointment, so any wounds, whatnot you have, so that could come in handy. Actually, I have a couple of cotton balls, so that could be used for gauze. You could use the bandana, rip off a piece of that to use for bandages. Of course, cotton balls also good for fire starting. Just threw in some jute twine. Same thing, it's, you know, cordage, fire making, all that good stuff as well. Just a mini Bic lighter. So obviously this is, you know, the quickest, easiest way to get a fire going. Also have something that's similar to wet fire. This is actually this stuff here, the Weber lighter cubes. It's actually intended for barbecuing, for, you know, outdoor grill or whatnot. But it's really lightweight. Same thing, it floats in water. It burns when, you know, you can get it wet and whatnot, and it still burns. So this is it's a pretty good tinder to use, especially if you just happen to be out and you have to survive and everything is wet. You can't find dry tinder and it's tough to get a fire going. This can help. Snare wire. This is actually picture hanging wire, just purchased at one of the big box hardware stores. You know, pretty strong stuff, so good for, you know, making snares for small game. This is a water purification drinking straw, so it's good for about 20 gallons. You just take this tube, I just got it electrical taped together, put the tube at the top here to be able to use it to drink, and then just set the bottom of this into your, you know, it's a pond or a swamp or a puddle of water or whatnot. You can be able, and it's actually got a little charcoal filtration system inside, so you can, you know, drink about 20 gallons of water or so and at least be relatively confident you're not going to get sick. Here's just a regular whistle, one of those 3-in-1 type whistles where it's got a compass, thermometer, and the whistle for signaling. And then I also just took a piece of masking tape and taped another small button compass on there, so I've actually got 2 compasses, just to be able to, you know, verify direction and whatnot. So, and the downside with this is it's really small, so it could be easy to lose, but also it's lightweight, so it's good to have 2 compasses. This is some duct tape wrapped around the inside part of a pen, so I can at least use this for writing on the index cards, for instance. But of course, duct tape 100 uses. Some needles with, this just happens to be dental floss that I'm using just for any kind of sewing, threading, and whatnot. Of course, you can also use it for your teeth. Some fishing line wrapped around a nail here. And I also have some spider wire, which is some like 80-pound test fishing line. So it's the braided fishing line and whatnot. So another really strong stuff. So on another nail. And I did have some fishing hooks, but I've actually made several of these kits that I've been giving to friends and family, and I keep taking the hooks out of my kits to put into there, so I actually need to buy some more fishing hooks, but at least having a basic fishing kit of some sort. So I've been using safety pins as an alternative, as a reminder. I got my tea light candle, so same thing, at least, you know, if it's really tough to keep a fire going, at least you got the candle, so you're not wasting your lighter or whatnot to at least try to keep a flame to be able to dry out some wood to get a sustainable fire. I have a Swiss Army knife here. It's just a, you know, knife, you know, at least like to have the knife and a saw so you can at least be able to cut some, you know, smaller, you know, wrist-sized branches and whatnot. And I've been kind of back and forth as far as what kind of knife to put in with the kit. That's at least lightweight and not terribly expensive and so on, but I've also had a couple of these, you know, like using a Leatherman squirt. And I actually like this because it is small, lightweight, you know, multi-purpose and so on. It has the pliers and whatnot, but it has like a small blade, so, you know, at least to have something in the kit that's got like a decent blade. The other problem that I have with this is I happen to be left-handed, and the way they sharpen the blade, it's only got an, you know, an angled edge on one side, and it's flat on the other. So being right-handed, it's not such a problem, but being left-handed, then it's kind of backwards, so it doesn't cut as nice. And also had like a Leatherman Micra. It's another little mini multi-tool. It's got scissors instead, but tried this as an option. Same thing, it's just got a small blade. But I don't know. Every time I look at this kit, it's evolving. I'm always, you know, changing things around and trying to find something better, you know, but it's not crazy expensive either. So, I mean, I think last time I tried to price everything on here, just to have one kit, it costs like around $90 for everything. So to have a decent knife, and the suture kit was kind of on the expensive side, and the drinking straw and so on. So to try to keep the costs low and to have a kit, you know, like in your vehicle, one that you can use to go out in the woods with, you know, day hiking and so on. So and then of course I've been making a few for friends and whatnot. So here is a surgical blade. So another blade option, just to, if you have to do fine cuts, you know, some whittling, you know, skinning an animal, so on, things like that. So at least have another sharp blade. This is just a golf pencil, also used for writing and whatnot if necessary. Leave a note. This is just a regular, you know, box cutting blade, razor blade as well. So another sharp tool to work with there. And then I have, of course, the magnesium flint block. So you got the magnesium that you can scrape off. It works great in the rain as well. No moving parts, so it's really hard to break. And scraper that goes with it. And then I have just a little, this is a AAA battery in here. Small little flashlight LED, 1 watt, I think is what it is. And then I actually put actually took the clip off of a mechanical pencil to include to this light, because this light I got real cheap on eBay as well. And you know, so it just lights up, so it actually not work too bad. Just for a little survival light. And the clip is so you can clip it onto your hat. So if you have a brimmed hat, then you can actually clip this on and use this kind of like a headlamp. So not too bad, lightweight. It's the same thing, trying to keep the kit light, because if you don't, then you won't carry it. So, and then at the bottom of this I actually have one of these credit card size magnifying lenses, you know, the plastic kind. It's called a Fresnel lens, or Fresnel, depending how you want to pronounce it. Works great for fires, obviously for magnifying the sun, as well as self-inspection again. So if you got a tick or something, you got to really get in close. It also helps for any personal injury issues. This I just kind of threw in there. This is a broken hacksaw blade that I just tried to, I don't know, proof of concept to see if it would be doable to use as the saw, as well as then I just tried to sharpen the edge here to kind of have as another edge. More safety pins. And then of course this is to be able to boil water in, and believe it or not, I don't know if people knew this or not, but you can actually put boiling water inside sandwich bags and the bag won't melt. It works. Try it. So if necessary, so you can actually boil the water and then store them in, in the bags as canteens and whatnot, and then figure out how to, you can use the bandana, for instance, to carry, to help carry the bladders of water. So, but it does work. Even these flimsy sandwich bags, boiling hot water, just pour it right in there, and then obviously, it'd be kind of hard to handle, so you have to be careful. But rather than thinking that you're going to have to wait for the water to cool down before you can boil another set of water, then at least you got the bags to help keep it going, so you can press on with whatever plan you have to do. What else? Here's my belt that I like to use. Generally, I always like to keep the survival kit on me. So this is actually an old dress belt that's kind of gotten all worn out, and I just decided to start using it out in the woods. Generally, along with the survival kit, I also have like a regular multi-tool, so Leatherman Wave in this case, and then a regular fixed blade knife. So I have something better, but worst case, at least got everything, most everything inside the survival kit that I would need to at least get by. This is a K-bar short, my beater knife. This is good for, baton, chop wood and things like that. And then recently I've also been carrying, I've been seeing a lot of folks carrying the Mora, just as a neck knife kind of thing. Another one that's inexpensive, stay, nice and sharp and whatnot. Wear it around your neck, just a piece of paracord here, so a lot like what you see Cody Lundeen, and I've seen others do it. And it's a good idea, so I really like the concept. And then in this case I also included just a small mini fire steel that I just kind of actually took some spider wire and just wrapped it around there to so at least have some sort of a lanyard to it, and just tuck it into the back of the sheath. And here's an example of just a blank mini fire steel, but really lightweight. So worst case, if I had to get lost out in the woods and this is all I had, I'd actually be, reasonably happy. Just at least you got a cutting tool of some sort and at least a way to make a fire. Of course, a carbon steel blade, so you can actually just strike, get sparks just using the blade of the knife itself. So this is generally what I go out in the woods with. But even when I do a day hike, this isn't too big of a deal. Like I said, you got to keep it lightweight or you won't bring it with you. And believe it or not, a lot of folks get lost just doing a simple day hike that they thought would only take a couple hours, and then days later they're getting rescued and whatnot. So definitely nice to have a kit that's at least worth carrying with you, that you won't mind taking with you, whether especially when you don't think you're going to need it. So the only thing I did not include, which I see some folks have put in a survival kit, is a P38, which is nifty tool and everything. I suppose if you have canned goods in with your kit, then the P38, which is a can opener that the military folks use, would come in handy. But I haven't really found too many more uses other than using it as a can opener. So I don't put it in the survival kit. I've seen some folks put it in there, and I kind of wonder why if there's no cans around. So so depends. And of course, if you have your Swiss Army knife, it also has a can opener as well. So, or even these little mini multi-tools, I guess they have a can opener. But notice that I didn't put any food in the kit. I don't know, I'm on and off with that. I hear that people can live three weeks without food and so on. Some folks will just put hard candy in there. Even a candy bar or a power bar or something like that, which is not necessarily necessary, but it could be like a nice psychological boost and a little energy boost and whatnot. So I'm hemming and hawing. I've got space in here. I suppose I could put some candy in there and still keep the weight down to under 2 pounds. So I'm rethinking this again, so I'll go through this kit one more time, and as I learn more and read more, I'll probably change it up again. So anyway, this happened to be what I'm carrying today.